Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Cujo over here. What's up? I just want to say thank you for my 193 subscribers. If you're not subscribed to me, you know what I'm saying? You know, there goes a button right there that says subscribe. So click the yellow button that says subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Also, I just want to say, check out the description box that said the Sports News Today show. Check that out. We're going to talk about the NFL Super Bowl. So check that out. So everybody knows what the whole news is. Sports news. Yeah, excuse me. I was eating some orange before this. The Indianapolis Colts and the New Orleans Saints has come to the Super Bowl. Now, if you're from the Indianapolis and you're a fan of the Colts, you're probably saying, "Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's cool." And if you're uh, from New Orleans, you're a Saints fan, you're happy because all this happened. Because you're seeing the Saints and, going to Super Bowl. I mean, that's what I see. That's what people see happening. Um, I mean, I see a lot of people. See a lot of people. If you check out my video, that's the video called "Who Will Win?" Well, I mean, who will go to NFL Super Bowl? And I asked people who will go to the Super Bowl. I had many people say that the Cowboys and the Chargers are going to go, but everybody knows that the Cowboys lost to the Vikings, I think. Yeah, to the Vikings or the Saints. And the Chargers lost to the Jets. So, yeah. And some people thought it was going to be the Colts versus the Vikings, but I thought that the Vikings were going to do it, but I guess the Vikings blew it. Some people thought it was going to be the San Diego Chargers versus the Minnesota Vikings, but everybody knows what happened. Some people thought it was going to be everybody knows it was going to be the Colts. Some people said Saints, Cowboys versus Chargers. Well, I already said that. Chargers versus the Cardinals. Eagles versus the Colts. That's what people thought who was going to go to Super Bowl. But Colts and Saints, they made it to the Super Bowl. I guess no one had thought about that. Some people thought that the Colts were going to go, but they didn't know who else was going to go. But since the Saints went, they do it. They did it. Now, who's going to win this Super Bowl? I think that the Saints are going to win this. Have a better chance for it. Why? Because they deserve it. Honestly, I think they do. They just didn't get there for no reason. Not only that, you know, everybody knows what happened. I'm not going to get the whole chase about what happened in the history of New Orleans. But everybody knows if the Saints did win the Super Bowl on February 7th, guess what? That would, support New Orleans. Probably get them more money for, clean up more stuff in Hurricane Katrina. In New Orleans, everything since the Hurricane Katrina. And for Indianapolis, probably for them, they could just be happy and be in Indiana. That's probably it. They win the world and win the Super Bowl. When the Colts beat the Jets, it wasn't really surprising. They got there. Jets got there. You gotta give them props that the Jets got there and they did it. They got there so far, but they blew it. The Vikings, the Vikings versus Saints, that was really interesting. Cause you see them win, and you see them win. Someone gets the lead, then it's a tie, lead, tie, and it's tie everywhere. I was expecting to see the Vikings win this, but in the same time, as I was seeing the Saints winning this, I didn't think that the Vikings did, but it was like, who's gonna win, the Vikings or Saints? And the Saints won. So yeah, I think the Saints are gonna beat the Colts, but anything can happen. So who you guys think is going to win the Super Bowl, the Colts or the Saints? New Orleans versus Indianapolis. Let's get it on. Super Bowl in Florida, in that stadium, which I don't know what it's called, but the Super Bowl. Who you guys think is gonna win the Super Bowl? Make sure you subscribe, comment on this video. Let me know your thoughts are. Rate this video. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you go to the description box on the Sports News Today show. I got an episode every Saturday coming up. You know what I'm saying? We talk about sports. So yeah, check it out. If you want to be part of the crew, yeah. So that's the whole point. 2 teams, 1 Super Bowl. Who will win the NFL Super Bowl in this season for their city.